From performing spells that could have gotten her expelled to blatantly disregarding authority when it suits her, Hermione is as much of a rebel as she is a genius. Let's take a look at some of Hermione's most chaotic, boundary-pushing moments that prove just how much of a rule-breaker she really is. In Goblet of Fire, Rita Skeeter, the sneaky journalist with a knack for ruining reputations, gets more than she bargained for when Hermione turns the tables. After Skeeter writes a particularly nasty article about Harry, Hermione traps her in a jar while Rita is in her animagus beetle form. But Hermione doesn't stop there. She blackmails Rita into never writing another hit piece. This is the kind of power move you wouldn't expect from someone who's typically the rule keeper of the group, but it's classic Hermione, smart, resourceful, and willing to bend the rules to protect her friends. In The Prisoner of Azkaban, Hermione doesn't exactly stay quiet when Draco Malfoy insults her best friend Ron. The result? A well-placed punch to Draco's face. It's a satisfying moment for anyone who's ever wished they could do the same, but it's also a little un-Hermione-like, considering she usually advocates for peaceful resolutions. But let's be honest, Malfoy totally deserved it. Hermione's commitment to Dumbledore's army, DA, was so strong that she took things to an extreme level. In Order of the Phoenix, she jinxed the DA's sign-up parchment so that if any traitors, aka sneaks, signed up, the curse would mark them with the word sneak in bright, glaring acne across their face. The best part, the jinx was incurable, so you'd have to live with the consequences forever. Talk about a clever and harsh way to weed out betrayal. Just ask Marietta Edgecombe. When Snape tries to hex Harry in Sorcerer's Stone, Hermione steps in to protect him, but not in the way you'd expect. She sets Snape on fire, and she's successful because Snape, in his attempt to stop the incantation, knocks over Quirrell, causing a distraction. The fact that she risked her own well-being to help Harry in such an intense way shows just how far she's willing to go. In The Goblet of Fire, Hermione's crusade for House Elf rights reaches its peak when she tries to trick the elves into freedom by chasing them with hand-knit sweaters. This isn't just a quirky moment, it's a deep commitment to equality and justice. But Hermione might not have thought through the fact that the elves don't want to be free. But it's another example of Hermione being so passionate about what's right that she's willing to break social norms and risk the elves getting angry to try to make a change. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Hermione uses a time turner to attend multiple classes at once. While it's a clever way to keep up with her workload, it's also highly illegal and extremely dangerous. But Hermione doesn't just stop there. When the time comes, she uses the time turner to help save Sirius Black and Buckbeak, even though both are technically considered criminals. Sometimes, Hermione's sense of justice overrides the rules, and she's not afraid to manipulate time to make things right. In Deathly Hallows, Hermione goes full-on secret agent mode when she steals Bellatrix Lestrange's wand and uses it to break into Gringotts, disguised as Bellatrix herself. Things get even more chaotic when they break out a dragon, and Hermione rides it to freedom. Not only is this a massive rule violation, but it's also incredibly dangerous. And yet, it's also undeniably epic. In her second year, Hermione brews Polyjuice Potion to spy on Slytherin House and gather information about Harry's mysterious rival, Draco Malfoy. She and Ron steal ingredients from Snape's stores and get Harry to use the potion on two of Draco's cronies, Crabbe and Goyle. The potion doesn't exactly go as planned. Hello, cat hair. But it's a perfect example of Hermione's willingness to break the rules for a cause she believes in. In Order of the Phoenix, Hermione tricks Dolores Umbridge into heading into the Forbidden Forest, where she almost gets killed by centaurs and Grawp, Hagrid's half-giant brother. Sure, it's a dangerous move, but it's also pretty satisfying to watch the insufferable Umbridge get a taste of the same terror she's so quick to dish out to others. Hermione's bag, which seems to have a bottomless interior due to the undetectable extension charm, is an impressive feat of magical ingenuity. But the charm itself is illegal, highly regulated by the Ministry of Magic. Yet, Hermione uses it frequently throughout the series, often smuggling items and sometimes people, where they shouldn't be. It's just another instance of Hermione bending the rules to help her friends. Though, of course, it's also a massive violation of magical law. In Half-Blood Prince, Hermione takes things a step further by using the Confundus charm on Cormac McLaggen during the Gryffindor Keeper trials so that Ron can win the spot. It's a classic example of Hermione trying to manipulate the situation in favour of her friends. But, true to form, she later regrets it when Cormac starts using it as leverage to get back at Ron. In Deathly Hallows, Hermione makes the heart-wrenching decision to obliviate her parents' memories of her in order to protect them from the dangers of the war. It's a painful moment, one that shows just how far she's willing to go to keep her loved ones safe. But it's also a massive break with moral conventions, as it involves wiping the memories of the people she loves most in the world. Hermione Granger is many things: intelligent, determined, self-righteous at times, and loyal to a fault. Yes, she can be insufferable at times, and no, she's not always as good as she thinks she is. But isn't that what makes her so real? The next video in this series is about Animagus. Be sure to subscribe to discover something you may not know about witches and wizards who chose to become something more.